Hi beauties, thank you so much for coming back to my channel or clicking on this video if you are new here. Hi, my name is Jacob. I'm a makeup enthusiast here on YouTube and on social media. In today's video, I thought it would be fun to come back and just do a little get ready with me. I did just get a comment on a recent video saying that you guys would like to see me in some earth tones, something that I really don't.
What's the word? Something that I don't.
Something that I'm not the most attracted to as far as makeup. I'm definitely more of a colorful person, but I definitely want to give myself this challenge. I was thinking maybe I would do more of a subtle, everyday kind of
makeup on the go, running to the store, running to go shopping, you know, just a fast, easy
makeup look. If I do sound a little congested, I am sorry, I just have allergies. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get into where I've been for the past few months, and we're just gonna chit chat. And well, I'm gonna talk, you can talk too
if you're like me and talk to the screen.
Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna get right into that. So again, thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. If you haven't already, please think about liking, commenting, and subscribing down below. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for sticking around. Sometimes I do go on a few months of a hiatus, but like I said, we'll get all into it. Just stick around for the video, okay? Alrighty, y'all, so I am back. Sorry, I had to grab some water and I went ahead and primed my eyes. Like I said, I got a comment saying that you guys wanted to see me do some earth tones, so I grabbed this palette from HipDot. It was gifted to me by a coworker, and it definitely has that earthy tones that you guys wanted to see, so we're gonna dive into this palette today. The brush I want to take first, I'm gonna grab just like a big fluffy brush. This is a Luxie 229 tapered blending brush, and I think the first shade I want to take is this one in the middle here. It's Cloves, and it's like a terracotta burnt orange. And then before I even get into doing my eyes, I have a little visitor, because like I said, these past few months have been a little hectic for me. I've gone through losing my job and then getting a new job, and then I adopted 3 kittens. This one is a Lucy, and then this big guy here is Desi. So these are the twins, my little baby angels. Okay. If you hear her little pitter patter paws, I apologize, but I'm not gonna kick her off. And then I will show you Tofu a little bit later, but he's up in the window right now and I don't want to bug him. That will be the first thing that I wanted to just let you guys know, because you will probably hear them in the background. I'm going to take this fluffy brush with that shade Cloves, and I'm just going to pop this into my crease. Hopefully the intro that I did wasn't too crappy, because I did kind of rush through that, and I definitely needed to get some water because my allergies were killing me. Just been busy getting my life back together. Started work. I've been there a few months now, and I mean, the job is what it is. It's not anything new to me. I definitely walked in knowing what it was going to be, and it was very similar to the job that I had been let go from, so I knew that I wasn't going to have to get adjusted to anything too out of the realm of what I was already doing. And I've definitely made friends there. Everybody that I work with is really nice. And, ooh, you silly boopsie. Go on. Get loose. But yeah, everybody's really nice. I get along fairly well. So once I have this orangey terracotta color built up where I want it, I'm going to take a more pointed blending brush. This one came in an Amazon set, and I'm going to grab the color right next to Cloves called Salem. And this is like a rosewood, like it looks like a very deep but red brown. So work has been work, you know, getting adjusted to everything. I finally have been there long enough to get my medical insurance kicked back in. It's been years since I've had medical insurance, which is like of my own choice, but I'm happy that I have it again because I definitely need to go see a doctor. I have been dealing with some health issues. Nothing that I'm super pressed about, but it's definitely inconveniencing my life. Like when you want to do something really bad, but your body's like, you can't do that. That's what's going on with me. And I'm not going to get too into it because it's just like not for the internet to know. But yeah, I'm just excited to have my medical insurance. I have my first doctor's appointment on the 10th of July. It's the 3rd of July right now. It is my mom's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mom. My family is actually in a cabin. I'm at home watching the kittens. They're all celebrating my mom's birthday in a cabin. I've kind of worked that color through the crease as well, just below that other color. I don't know how I'm feeling about the way it's blending right here, but that could just be because I didn't put primer on my mobile lid. I just put it in my crease. So I'm not going to say that it's the shadow acting up. It could just be the primer. I'm going to go ahead and get this color worked into my crease and probably wing it out a little bit on the ends here, and then get this other eye caught up, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more. Alrighty, beauties, so I'm back. I got that blended. I'm liking where this is going, but I do want to jump into 1 or 2 other colors. I'm going to take this color down here, I think. I'm going to take this color right here called Sorceress, and I think I'm going to blow that up into my brow just in the inner corner, and then I'm going to blend the brow bone out with this white matte and probably put that in my inner corner as well. This fluffy blending brush, this is the Odin's Eye blending brush into Sorceress. So yeah, going to the doctor next week, and then hopefully figuring out what I can do to make myself feel better and get myself back to where I want to be, to enjoy life again. At least enjoy it a little bit more. So yeah, got my doctor's appointment, and then I also have a dentist appointment, but freaking have to wait till August to go to the dentist that I have to go to, which is pretty crazy, but whatever. As long as it's getting done, and luckily I haven't had any problems with my teeth, so hopefully when I go to the dentist it's not going to be anything but a cleaning, a very deep and needed cleaning. Liking this Sorceress shade just pushed into the brow from the crease. Then I think I am just gonna take it along the top of the 2 shades that I already have going on. Getting the kittens was definitely not something that I planned on doing, but if you watched any of my previous videos, I can't remember if I mentioned that. I know I've mentioned them a few times, but I think it was in my last one that I talked about the neighborhood cat. She had gotten pregnant again. Just taking that brush that I used cloves, and I'm just gonna blend a little bit further before I take the last matte shade called Coven. She had gotten pregnant again, and she had a litter of kittens, so we took them in, and we also, thank you Jesus, were able to take her and the other female cat that they have now, because she's had more than 1 litter. We were able to take all the females and got everybody fixed, so everybody's chipped and neutered now. And ever since then, it's been so much better for her. At least I feel it has been. I will say though that my cats literally hate having the kittens here. Like, I don't know what it is. They're older cats, but they're not like old cats. Well, I mean, Kibo's kind of old, but anyway, they are just like not loving it at all. I'm pretty sure Kibo's trying to revolt. I'm going to take the ColourPop E2 brush, and I'm going to take the brightest, well, I should say the lightest matte shade called Coven, and I'm going to take that, I'm going to put that on my brow bone and blend it down into the crease, and then I'm probably going to pop that in my inner corner as well. And I like a good bone shade like this just to keep everything from getting too crazy and getting too blown up into the brow. If you want to ever take your shadows down, just grab a nice bone shade like this and use that to blend it down. Because I feel like that always looks so much better than trying to blend it out with a shimmery highlight or something. Or you could even take like a translucent powder, like a face powder. And like I said, I'm going to try and do just a natural makeup look, like something that I would wear out shopping or,
You know, meeting with friends for a quick bite to eat or whatever.
just something not crazy and how I usually like to do it. And then I'm gonna pop a little bit into my inner corner and blend that up as well. So along with adopting the kittens and getting everything situated at work, I had my birthday at the end of May. That was uneventful, as it is usually every year. I don't like my birthday. I don't like to really celebrate my birthday. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. I had that, and that was pretty much the day that we adopted the kittens, or at least that weekend of my birthday. We definitely got them that weekend. So they were kind of like my birthday gift to me. I'm going to cut my crease using my M.I.A Pixie Epoxy. And I think I'm just gonna tap one of these on the lid really lightly. I think I wanna take this shade Charmed right here on the outer third of my eye into the middle of my lid, and then blend that into the gold hex shade right there in the corner, and that'll go over the rest of my lid. But I don't want to go too heavy. I want to tap that on there, so you'll see what I mean. Gonna prime my lid. I've just been going to work, dealing with the cats, of course getting all the usual adult stuff out of the way. I did end up going into a loan on my car, so I was doing a lease and now I'm doing a loan to own. So that's exciting adult stuff, I guess. The payment went up significantly, which was just like perfect. Even though I'm pretty sure that that happened before I got fired, so I probably should have told you that in the last video. Maybe I did. Anyway, old news now. Let's talk about some movies. So I don't know if you guys are into the horror movies, but I'm definitely into the horror movies. But let me tell you a little story. I'm gonna pick up Charmed. Oh, and to tap that on, I just used this detail concealer brush that I got in an Amazon set. And I'm gonna use the HipDot flat concealer brush for Charmed. I'm literally just, like, you can't see it because I don't want you to be able to see it. Does that make sense? You'll see what I mean. I want it to look like a dusting, not like there's pigment there. I don't know why, but I've really been liking this instead of like full-on packed on pigment. I don't know why. I'm usually not that kind of girl. So that's pretty much what I want. The Evil Dead Rise, right? It's coming, well, it came out on HBO Max, whatever you want to call it. Came out there. I feel like I put too much on this side, whatever. And I knew when I saw the preview for it in the theater that I wanted to see the movie. But the Evil Dead remake that came out, that movie made me pass out. Like, full on, face to the floor, I passed out watching that movie. And so I am terrified to watch this one alone. But Eddie is not the biggest fan. Oh, I just tapped into Hex, the brightest of the shimmer shades. And again, just want to drizzle that, not like go ham. I'm probably gonna tap a little something else over these two just to let you guys know that it's still me doing the makeup. So what do you guys think? Have you seen it? And if you have, would you faint? Because if you've seen The Evil Dead, it was at the very end when the rain happened and the car was on top of her. Yeah, just thinking about it. I did see the new Avatar movie The Way of Water, and I cried 2 times watching that. I loved it. I definitely think it's worth the watch time. I am hoping that they come out with a 3rd one faster than they came out with this one, though, because jeepers creepers. It took them so long. It took me a while to watch it, not only because the watch time is over 3 hours, but because I was just like, am I even into this anymore? Like, it's been so long since I watched the first one. And I'm that type of person that's like, oh, the second one's out, I have to watch the first one and then watch the second one. You can't do that with Avatar. They're both too long. They're both foreverly long. And you would just be sitting there all day watching Avatar. It's like Lord of the Rings. If you're going to watch those, it's like an all day thing. And I mean, I've done it, but they almost lost me. I feel like I went too ham. This is not how I wanted it to look, but still doesn't look bad. So that is the HipDot palette. I forgot to tell you, this is called the Witchy Warms palette. And like I said, got it from a friend at my old job, Mandy. Thank you so much. I do really like it. And I do think that HipDot has great quality eyeshadows that blend out really well. And you definitely get your bang for your buck with that brand. But I do want to tap a little something over this, I think. I'm going to take the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 4 palette, and I'm going to use the shade Zen, which looks orange, but is also like a green. And I'm just going to lightly pick that up. And I'm going to place it on the top in my crease and then blend it down onto the shimmers below. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. A little bit more. Just for over here. But yeah, so saw the Avatar movie. I really liked that one.
I'm sure that you guys are aware that the new Scream movie is on Paramount, so if you haven't already, go watch it.
So that definitely gave me what I wanted. I am going to put something in my inner corner, but before I do that, I want to get my face going. I did already prime my face with this little combo of Revolution Skincare Superfruit essence and serum, and then I topped it with the Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer from First Aid Beauty. And yeah, I really like this combination of primers. I usually put that on even if I'm not putting on makeup, just because it makes my skin feel really good and it makes it shiny and look pretty. So I do want to take the CoverGirl CG Smoothers BB Cream in 810. This is what I'm going to use for my foundation today. I recently got into the show by way of suggestion of some of the girls at work. Oh, if you guys heard that just turn off, my air has been going. I don't know if you're going to hear that, but I don't have like a mic. I'm not fancy or nothing. So sorry if like that's been over me this whole time and you can hear me better all of a sudden. But anyway, so by way of suggestion from some of the girls at work, they told me to watch Ginny and Georgia on Netflix. And girl, was I ever impressed with that suggestion, because it was probably the second, maybe the third week that I had started working there. So I didn't think they knew me that well to be suggesting these shows, and it took me a week to watch it, like to be like, okay, I'm gonna watch it, like just so that because they could like be like, Jacob, did you watch it? And I'd be like, oh no, sorry, I forgot. And I would forget because I'd be like watching whatever. Anyway, so finally ended up watching it and I loved it. I went through both the seasons in like a week, maybe 2 weeks, but really hope that they make a 3rd season of that show because I really enjoy it. And I will say that
Max is probably my favorite, even though in the 2nd season I was getting really mad at her. And I will say that the redhead, I think her name's Abby, she really ticked me off in the 1st season. I thought I wasn't going to like her at all, but in the 2nd season I ended up really liking Abby, and then Max was kicking me off. So I was like, it's one of those shows that you really have to, watch. Like,
just don't love anybody because everybody's an asshole at some point. And then because I was watching that on Netflix, I'm so sorry if I'm talking really fast. I'm just like, I don't want this video to be super duper long, and I know that this makeup is not going to take very, very long to do. So I'm not trying to have any dead air here. Because I got done watching that, I was like, well, maybe I should watch, you know, something that it suggests, something that's like similar to this. And they suggested 13 Reasons Why. And I read that book years ago, before it was even a show on Netflix. It was talked about, they were talking about adapting it into a movie that was going to star Selena Gomez. And I think that I heard that rumor and I was like, oh, well, what is this 13 Reasons Why about? And they told me that it was a book. Maybe I was in school. I don't know. But anyway, so I read the book and the show came out and waiting for it to, I love that this is not cakey at all. It literally looks like skin. I was waiting for it to all come out so that I could just binge it. But then I started reading stuff and hearing stuff about it, about how like it wasn't good or it was like triggering and stuff. And I was like, well, maybe I won't watch it. It took me a while to watch it, but finally sat down and watched that show. The first season is the best season. The second season is okay. And then I will say the third season and the fourth season are just like, I only watched them because I'm a completionist and I had to, but I wouldn't be like, yeah, go watch the third and fourth season again. No, I wouldn't do that. But I might watch the first and second again. I'm going to start with some concealer. So I think I'm just going to take my NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer, and I'm in the shade CW01. I like to take this shade right under my eye, like that. A little bit on the chin here. And if you notice, I didn't shave today. Sometimes I don't shave. Woo! I'm probably making a bigger deal out of it than you are. Then I'm gonna grab my Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Longwear Concealer in C1. This one I just like to put right here, because I really use it to brighten more than anything. A little bit on the tip of the nose. Yeah, I like to do that combination. And then I'm just gonna take this little tiny sponge and I'm gonna blend this out. I'm gonna start here. So yeah, I watched the 4 seasons of 13 Reasons Why. I didn't watch it at like normal speed because I did not want to see anything that I did not want to see, as far as like, I didn't know if they were going to show her committing suicide. Luckily, they did not, and I appreciated them for that greatly. But I just didn't know. And then, especially in the third and fourth season, I started watching them at 1.5 speed. Because I was like, I wanted it to be over. I was like, why is this show continuing on? Like, because the book is literally only about Hannah Baker. Like, it's not about, well, obviously, like, the other characters are in there, like Clay and Bryce and Jessica, Justin, all those people are in there. But, like, the book didn't focus on, like, I think that my favorite part from the later seasons, like, I think it was the fourth season, was when Jessica kind of came into her power and she made this speech, and then people in the audience started standing up and like letting people know that they were survivors as well. And like that never happened in the book, but like I thought that was really cool, like that they did that in the show. Taking that brush that had Sorceress on it, just want to make sure that that's still there. I didn't wash it away with the concealer. So I did like that, but like, yeah, I didn't feel the third and the fourth seasons were very necessary. I binge watched Drag Me to Dinner on Hulu, which I thought that I would really love, but actually didn't. I mean, I didn't not like it. I thought it was great, but I also thought it was kind of like, not pointless, but just like, why? Because they weren't taking it seriously. I'm going to grab some cream blush. I'm going to use this Kimchi Pot de Creme in Soda Pop. I'm going to see what this looks like as like a blush lighter type of moment. That's really pretty. Cool. Got into some shows, definitely. And of course, I stay watching YouTube. I watch a lot of true crime or documentaries. just stuff to like pass the time by. I haven't really been watching a whole lot of makeup content, which honestly makes me sad, but I don't feel like there's a whole, maybe I'm not getting it because I'm not subscribed to them, but I just don't feel like there's a whole lot going on in the makeup community anymore. But I'm not going to say that there isn't, because like I said, I could just be out of the loop at this point. If you guys have stuck with me, I really do appreciate it, because like I said, I go on some hiatuses sometimes where I need to take a break. I don't feel that I have the time. And it's not only that, because I know I do have the time, but I don't like to inconvenience people with my anxiety, and filming when I have my partner here or my parents, anybody, it really makes me anxious, and like I don't want to be too loud, and I don't want to seem like a crazy person talking to myself sitting here on a camera, which is like, I don't know why, because they know what I'm doing. I'm just filming a video for you guys, but in my mind I'm like, oh my god, they think I'm a freak, they think I'm weird, they think all these horrible things. It is just like Jacob, calm down. Film the video, sis. Sometimes I just get into my head and I get into these spaces where I don't feel like I can film, and yeah, I apologize for that. But again, thank you so much for sticking around. I really, really appreciate it, guys. So to add a little bronzer, I'm gonna take this e.l.f. Bronzed Peach. I'm just gonna use this side on this Real Techniques blending sponge. And I'm going to kind of use this more for contour than for bronzer, but just going to add some shadow to my face. I think that I'm going to pop on a highlight, and then I don't think I'm going to set this. I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter. I'm going to use this for my inner corners and the highlight on top of my cheeks. For the inner corner, I'm going to take this Luxie Mini Round 141 brush. Maybe we're going to take it under the eye, just to have something there. And if y'all know me, you know that I usually always set my makeup, so this is really new for me. This AOA Studio High Def Brush F8. I'm going to use this for highlight. And I just picked it up on the one side. And I'm just going to tap that where I want it. Because this highlighter can kind of get out of control if you start to go back and forth with it. So this might actually be a really great brush for this highlighter. I'm gonna take a little right above my lip. To wrap everything up, I'm gonna pop on mascara, my least favorite part. So got the Curl Elevation from Revolution mascara on. I would not recommend this. I'm just using it because I don't like to waste things. This is pretty much the makeup look that I came up with. Like I said, it's nothing crazy, nothing special. I just wanted to do a little chit-chat get ready video and update you guys, letting you know what has been going on. And yeah, so, oh, before I leave, let me show you the last little new member of my familia. And then this is the third one. My little angel, my little Jofo. Say hi, baby. Oh. Okay. He was so sweet. I'm sorry I woke you up. But anyway, beauties, thank you so much again. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay.
Since my parents are away, I've been cooking a little bit more. I made chicken cutlets for the first time last night and aglio olio pasta. But the pasta didn't come out that, I mean, the pasta itself was like cooked and, you know, whatever. But like the aglio olio part didn't come out that great, at least not in my opinion. My dad definitely makes it better. But the chicken, mama, whoo, I made some good chicken cutlet, mama. Can't tell me nothing about my chicken cutlet.